Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the baby name tag. I was tagged by my friend Sarah from the channel Rosie Home, but this tag was started by the lovely SJ, who is the ultimate baby name guru on YouTube, on Instagram. If you need some inspiration for baby names, or you're just interested in baby names in general, which it seems a lot of us are, then SJ is the girl for you. I will leave both Sarah and SJ's channels linked in the description box so you can go and have a look if you would like to. So I watch SJ's Baby Name Monday videos every single week. I love them. I love the way she themes them. I love how she researches them. I like hearing the meanings and thinking of new names. But the only problem with it is she's so good at coming up with these amazing names that it makes me have real regret when it comes to choosing my own names for my own children. I love all my children's names and I wouldn't change them. They suit them perfectly. However, it makes me either want to have 8 babies so that I can name them all these wonderful names, or just go back and give them all lots of middle names that I hadn't originally given them. There are so many names that I love, but my husband is a pain in the arse and he was quite specific about what he liked and didn't like. Very vocal on that front. So yes, a lot of the names that I loved, I didn't get to use. And I guess, yeah, it's all about compromise, isn't it? So if I think about baby names too much, it gives me real anxiety that I can't use some of the names that I really, really love. Because I'm not having any more babies, I find it quite stressful. However, I did want to take part in this tag because I've watched quite a few of them now, really enjoyed watching them, and it seems like a lot of fun. So I'm going to try and park my own personal issues with naming my children and names that might have been, and go into this with an open mind. So I have 10 questions and I'm going to read them out. I will leave them all in the description box as well below. If you want to take part and do this video yourself, then the questions will be down there. So question number 1 is, if you had a baby tomorrow, a boy and a girl, what would you call them? So for a boy, I would call him Luca. This is a name that I have always loved, probably since we had our first baby Dylan like 12 years ago, and it's one that my husband did not like, so didn't get a look in. I love the way it sounds. I like how it looks written down. My family on my dad's side was Italian, so I love the link there. The name means bringer of light, which I think is such a beautiful meaning. Everything about the name I always have and still do love. For a girl, I really love the name Cosette. I've loved the name since seeing Les Mis in the theatre years ago. I know someone recently who called their daughter Cosette and they call her Cozy for short, which I just think is the cutest nickname ever. I think that would be adorable for a little girl. The name means little thing. It's a French name, obviously, and I don't know what it is about it, but I just think it's really beautiful, and cozy is just what swings it for me. So it would be Luca and Cosette. So question number 2 is, what would you rename yourself keeping your same initial? Now, I really struggled with this one. My name is Kate and spelt with a K. It's not a shortening of Catherine or anything. I was christened Kate. So there's not very many K names that I like, and the first thing that sprung to mind when I read this question was the Kardashians. And if I had to choose a Kardashian name for myself, it would be Kendall. There you go. Kendall Bridge. Doesn't quite work in South Wales. So question number 3 is, what would you have been, or what do you wish you'd been called if you were the opposite gender? And I couldn't get hold of my mum to ask her this question this morning before I sat down to film this, but I've got a sneaky feeling that she told me once that I would have been called Michael. That may not be true at all, but somewhere in the back of my mind I can remember somebody telling me that Michael was an option, but that can't be because that's my dad's brother's name and that would just be really weird. I don't know is the answer to that question. I don't know what I would have been called. I do know that it was either going to be Kate or Emma, but they went with Kate. As for what I would have been called if I was a boy, I'm not sure. If I had to choose what I would be called if I was a boy, I don't know. I really don't know. There's not many. I struggle to choose boys' names for my own boys, let alone for myself. So I'm going to give that one some thought, and I might come back to you later in the video with my answer, but I don't know on both elements of that question. Question number 4, what are your favourite vintage boy and girl names? So the two names I went for were Nora for a girl, which I just think is a beautiful name. It means light, which I think is beautiful. I like the way it sounds. Again, I like the way it looks written down. Nora Bridge, I'm not so keen on it with our surname, but as a name on its own, I really think it's beautiful. And for a boy, it's a little bit more out there, but I really love the name Barnaby. I think it's really cute. I looked it up and it actually means son of comfort, which doesn't it really make sense? Barnaby to me does sound like a comforting, cozy, cuddly name. I think that meaning is perfect. It really says that to me. And Barnaby Bridge is just beyond cute. So yes, Barnaby and Nora. So the next question is, what are your favourite nature names for a boy and a girl? The nature name that I chose for a girl was actually something I considered for Marnie. It was on my list. It would never have made it past, you know, the husband. But I loved it and I still do, and it's Juniper. I think Juniper as a full name is beautiful. Juno for short is lovely. And I would have considered it as a first name or a middle name had I not been married to Dan. And my boy's nature name that I really love is Ash. Again, this is one that we did consider and Dan did actually quite like, but I felt like it wasn't great with our surname, but I love the way it sounds. I'm not so keen on Ashley for a boy, but I love just Ash. I think it's really cool, and yeah, that would be my pick for a boy. So the next question, what is your favourite YouTuber's baby name? And I gave this a lot of thought because there are so many that I love. But one that really stuck out to me, I think because it's quite recent, but also it just struck me as a really beautiful name and one I hadn't thought of before. And it's Kerry Conway's daughter. They have called her Roma. As soon as I heard it, I fell in love with that name. I think it is really beautiful. Kerry actually has two other daughters, Sienna and Aria is actually Marnie's middle name. So we obviously have quite similar taste in names, but I thought Roma was really, really lovely. So the next question is your favourite literary name. I found this really, really hard. There are so many to choose from, but what really came into my mind first was Byron. Byron is my dad's name, was my dad's name, and it's actually Aiden's middle name. Obviously, Lord Byron, quite famous in the literary world, so that one really stuck out to me for sentimental reasons. But something else that popped into my mind, and it's not the nicest of literary characters to be named after, but I really like Boo. I think it's just so cute for a little girl. I think of the little girl from Monsters Inc. actually when I think of Boo, rather than Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird. Wouldn't necessarily want to name your child after Boo Radley, but something about it as a middle name I just think's adorable. So the next question is your favourite name beginning with an O that isn't Oliver or Olivia, and this one came really easily to me, and it's Ophelia. I think that is just a beautiful name. It's actually one of my friend's daughter's names and I've always loved it. Had it not been a name of someone that I already know, I would probably have considered it when I was pregnant with either Aiden or Marnie. I think it's just lovely. So the next question is, what did you wish you were called when you were a child? For as long as I can remember, I wanted to be called Lucy, always, all through primary school, probably even in secondary school. I just thought it was a lovely name, much better suited to me than Kate. I didn't like my name at the time. Now I actually quite like it. I still like Lucy, it's a lovely name, but that is the one that I always envisaged myself being called, Lucy. So the last question is, what name would you or did you immediately veto? And that's an easy one for us. We both agreed, something we did agree on, and that is Brooklyn. I'm just gonna leave it there for a minute, see if you can remember what my surname is, but there's a reason why we could never call a child of ours Brooklyn. Or Golden Gate, that would be equally as bad. So I really enjoyed filming that. I hope you liked it too. As I said before, I tend to not do much with baby name videos on my channel, A, because SJ is just the queen of baby names, but also it makes me think too much about what I could have called my children that I didn't call them, and now I don't have a chance to name any more children. So yeah, maybe they'll let me name one of my grandkids. So I really enjoyed filming this video and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Do give the video a thumbs up if you did. As this is a tag video, I have to tag a couple of people to do it as well. So I think I'm going to choose Kerry Conway, whose daughter is Roma, I would love to see what other names she would choose, because clearly I like her names anyway. I'm also going to tag Lucy from Dear Beautiful because we have very similar taste in names. In fact, our children share some names in common, so again, I would love to hear her thoughts. And I'm going to tag one more person. Who shall I tag? And I'm also going to tag Rianne Gibson, whose daughters' names are beautiful. She has a Sienna and an Alba, which are such lovely names, and I'd love to hear what her answers are. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. If the button down here is red, then that means you're not subscribed. It doesn't cost you anything, but it just means that you won't miss any of my videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!